Hey, welcome to Strength-Based Marketing. I'm Pat Dewar, and I'm really excited about my guest tonight because Oginga Carr has been a mentor of mine. I've hired him, I've worked with him, I've spoken on his stages, and we have a long history now of really cool events that we've been a part of, and a lot of lives that we've been able to touch. So tonight, one of the things that I want to tap into is his whole Limitless Challenge program that he's trying to really roll out there and get people engaged. Now, when I hear the words Limitless Challenge, there's the sky's the limit. So Oginga, tell me, when you say Limitless Challenge, what is this really about delivering to the people that take part of it?
Well, really, Pat, first of all, thank you. And I love being a part of what it is that you're doing. And I'm appreciative of that. But Limitless Challenge really came from a real deep place inside of me. We've been running the Limitless event. I am sad that we can't run Limitless in person this year. We've run it for 4 years now. And it's all been about creating that limitless life for ourselves. And I just look at the world that is around us now, and I feel like that we just need more positivity and more leadership, better leadership and better positivity with it. And so what I thought about with this challenge was, okay, let's figure out a way how people can share what they know. Because, Pat, everybody's an expert. I know people don't like to think that. And the expert space is really muddy because there's a lot of people who kind of step out there. And, you know, I shared this with you before, that unfortunately a coach or consultant many times might just be another name for someone who's unemployed. And it has that. And so it's not about like, so everybody can go run and go be a coach. What I'm looking for and what I'm searching for in this challenge are people who want to change the world. That's what it's about. It's about being limitless as far as changing the world. And so I'm challenging some people to go out and teach something. Teach something. That's it. Teach something it is that you know. It doesn't have to be world changing. It doesn't have to be woo. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It can be, hey, here's the best way that I've ever known to work with my kids, to get the best out of my kids. Here's the best way that I ever learned to flip a pancake. Here's all these. We're talking about what's your best concept? What's your best concept for you to be able to share that really just changes people's lives? You know, Pat, when you were talking about teaching, there's really 3 levels, okay? You could teach somebody something, and that's it. They learn something, and that's great, okay? Then you may be able to teach somebody something that transforms their life. You taught them something that changed their life. It changed how they did something. You taught them a better way of how to change a tire, and now they're on the side of the road, and they're able to change the tire much faster because of what it was you taught them. And then we want to think of things that transcends time. And so what is that transcends time? What is it that is something that you can learn now that will still be just as fresh 30 years from now? So that's really what we're looking for.
That's beautiful. I like to call those 9-pound pearls, things that you paid more than you would want anyone to ever have to pay for. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, but you paid for it. You purchased that lesson. And when you share that lesson and somebody picks it up and they internalize it, their life is changed. And so often we talk about changing the world. Well, a lot of people look at that, and I know in the back of my head the chatter is, well, that's for Tesla, and that's for Gates, and that's for Jobs. But, you know, if you change this world, and you begin to affect those that you know and love, we don't know the 500-year plan or impact that's going to have a key message delivered in just a couple of minutes. But a lot of people are terrified. I mean, you and I speak for a living. We do this hundreds of times a year. It's like, whee, sweet, microphone, camera. Oh, yeah.
Do it, right.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's it.
What would you say to that chatter that people have of, well, I don't know if I'd look good on camera. What? You want me to find out what I sound like and look like? My inside voice screams, you might as well, everybody else already knows.
Right.
But that's still the inner voice. What do you say to that person?
So I tell you something. You brought up something that piqued my thought, and now you're talking about that's for Tesla, and that's for Jobs, and that's for Gates. So I'll tell you that changing the world also is for Carr as well too, and it's not Oginga Carr. It's for my dad, David Carr. He changed the world in such a way that he's been gone now for 14 years, and I still quote David Carrisms to people all the time. And so there's little things that he may not have even realized, like things like he was a wordsmith, so he loved words, and so it gave me the joy of loving words. When I was, just the same age my son is, he taught me a word of the day every day, and so I had to use that word during the day at some point in time in the day. And so here I am as a 5 and 6 year old having, $1 million vocabulary and what it is doing it. And so he taught us something. He said because he worked with people, and he said, he was talking about a group of business people he was working with. He said, we're a family related through affinity, if not through consanguinity. And so what that meant is that we're a family related to the love of what it is that we do, even if we're not blood related. And so the thing is, when you're talking about like worrying about all those issues and all those things that people think about why you shouldn't be a part of what it is, why you shouldn't do it, let me give you a reason why you should. It's the success recipe. Pat and I both are in a book that we dropped right before the pandemic, an anthology with a ton of people. And with that, when you're talking about the success recipe, he's got it right here ready for you. The success recipe, it is dream, believe, work, achieve, repeat. Okay? So you have a dream. You have this thing that's inside of you that's because I'm not talking to everybody. Let me get you to understand this. I'm not talking to everybody. You have this thing that's gnawing inside of you that's saying, I want to help the world. I want to be able to teach people. I feel like I should be doing more. Even if you're already in a business, even if you're whatever it is, I feel like I should be doing more, right? That's the dream, right? And so what you're talking about, Pat, what happens is that immediately what happens, that voice you hear right behind your dream, that voice that says, no, that's for Tesla, no, that's for Jobs, no, that's for Gates. You know what that voice is? That is the lack of belief in that dream. So what we have to have is we have to have a way of being able to believe into that dream. So I'm going to instill some belief into you right now, all right? You can do it. You have a camera that you're looking at this on, probably, because if you're looking at this on mobile, then you have a camera that's right here for you to be able to use that's in front of you. So you can take that, you can use that, you can make that happen and be able to put it out there. And you do it, and it's sloppy and it's messy. Oh my gosh, I still say, Pat, like some of my first videos when I first started doing Aha Mondays and stuff, because it was just like, whoa, like, what is that? Like, for real. Because people were always like, oh man, you just have it so fast. No, that came from a lot of work. A lot of time, which that's what we get to, is that you dream, believe, and then you work, you do the work. Don't you want to do the work out here in the world? Don't you want to have the taste? Do you want to sit here and think about the fact that maybe I could have, or any of those different things like that? We don't want that. So let's figure out how it is we do the work. How it is we go get it and make it happen. And you can achieve it and then you can repeat it. And so this challenge is for you. If you listened to that and that resonated with you at all, then I'm talking to that little voice that's inside of you. This challenge is for you.
And so I know that they need to register to go to the event, and it's virtual. So they'd go to where?
Well, they just register for the challenge. This is not even for the Limitless Live event. This is separate from that. They just register for the challenge. And so they go to limitlessgoalsnow.com/challenge. That's free. That's a free thing in order to be able to just be a part of the challenge. Then what you do is you post your video to Twitter, to LinkedIn, to YouTube, to Facebook, to Instagram. We're on all the social media platforms, and you use the hashtag Limitless Challenge. When you do that, me and my team are out curating videos and watching videos. So the challenge ends on October the 7th, okay? October the 7th, so it's coming soon. And so that challenge ends on October the 7th. And what will happen is that we'll then take in all the videos that we've seen and we'll choose the top 5. We'll take that top 5 and then we'll post those videos to we'll let you know, of course, and then we'll post those videos to our I Dream I Achieve page, or the Oginga Carr page. And then it becomes just a contest of sharing and we're gonna flood this world with these 5 amazing people's thoughts. We're gonna flood this world with it, and the people who take the content in the most, who share it, who get the most amount of likes, you're gonna win. So you're gonna win $1,000 in cash, cold hard cash, no buddy points or anything like that. Okay, we're gonna give you which is way more valuable than $1,000, which is we're gonna give you my done for you course program. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean, Pat, that I'm gonna like dump a bunch of stuff on you and tell you how to do a course and do some videos in monotone and say this is the way that you do the course? No. What it means is that you and me, we're gonna stand arm in arm. We're gonna get involved, and we're going to create a course with you. We're gonna create it. We're gonna curate. We're gonna help you figure out what it is that you know and how to be able to curate it into a course. Then we're gonna shoot the video with you. You're gonna shoot the video. Then we're gonna edit the video. We're going to take and edit the video, and we're going to create all the branding around the course. Then we're going to give you a marketing plan to market the course, and so you'll come out of this with a product that you can go and sell, but that you can also go and change the world with. Did you want to create that youth program where the youth can be able to get it? Did you want to be able to create the best way to be able to fix your car on your own program? Did you want to be able to create that cooking program to be able to teach people how to be able to cook and do it in the best way possible? This is your time. This is your moment. Now is the time to get it done.
That's excellent. A couple of things that I know some people that are, more thinkers instead of just speakers. Some people that are speakers is whip it off. But for somebody who's more of the thinker, maybe even an introvert a little bit, are there a couple of keys when you put a 3-minute little point, talk, share an idea? What do you usually encourage somebody to do?
So I'm gonna tell you a couple of things, and these are insider tips as far as on how to do this. First thing is I know that many of us, our idea when we are creating a talk is to write every word. And I'm going to tell you that is the greatest way to get lost in what it is you're doing. What I want you to do is to concentrate on concepts. So what do I mean by concepts? Concentrate on what are the big ideas that are around it. It doesn't matter if you don't say the same words every time you say it. Guess what? Nobody knew what the words were anyway. You were the only person who knew what the words were. So when you're creating a 3-minute and you're going to teach something, then you look and say, okay, here are the 3 things that I want to be able to say about this. See, I had the luxury, Pat, of being a Toastmaster. And being in Toastmasters, we had things called table topics, where they would just give you an idea and you had to talk about it for like 1.5 to 2.5 minutes. Then we had speech contests. And speech contests were a little bit longer than this. They were 5 to 7 minutes. But I got the opportunity to be one of the top 90 speakers in the world way back in 2010. And that was doing a contest like this and talking through it and being able to do it. So you're going to say, hey, here's the open. Here's 3 quick points. Here's an end. Now, I'm going to tell you what, Pat. I'm feeling really, really, generous today. So here's what I'm going to do. You inbox me after seeing this video. I'm not even going to do an opt-in for you or anything like that. You inbox me. Just because if you listen to this portion of the video, then you really care about what it is we're talking about. So you inbox me after seeing this video. Send it to me, to Oginga Carr. If you're not directly connected with me, then get connected with me on Facebook. Inbox me on any of the platforms here. So if you're watching on YouTube, because I know we're on a bunch of different platforms, inbox me. And on Saturday, October the 3rd, it's Saturday, I am going to open up a Zoom room like this. I'll invite you into the Zoom room. We'll get into a group, and I will teach how to be able to put this together. I will teach you how to do it. So if you're worried about how to put it together, I will teach you how to put it together and do it right there, okay? And so we'll do that and we'll create that on Saturday. I have to look and see in my schedule and see when the Razorbacks play, because I cannot do it while the Razorbacks are playing because I have to watch Arkansas. But besides that, that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna spend an hour out of my Saturday open up the Zoom room like the way I have Zoom Unlimited, so I can be able to put as many people in as possible. And I'm going to do that, and we're going to teach you how to do it. Now, I'm not going to write your speech for you. I'm not going to write your talk for you because it's a contest, and so that'd be unfair. But I will teach you the concepts of how to do this and how to be able to create it and what to do. So look, we're taking away excuses. We're just snatching excuses away. We're snatching excuses away right now. That's what it is. All right?
So I got a question for you. What about a story? You know, something that, I mean, one that comes to mind, and I'll just to kind of prove the point, I have a little clock on mine. I know you did that today.
Right.
And so I'm losing some seconds. So let me do this real quick.
Gotcha.
And tell me if this is kind of the concept as well. There's a really great book out there years ago. It was put out by a guy named Shel Silverstein. It's called The Missing Piece Meets the Big O. Now, do not Google the Big O. Okay.
I know.
Wrong space.
Right.
Missing Piece Meets the Big O, Shel Silverstein. Let me just tell it to you. I want you to visualize a circle with a wedge cut out, like a pizza with a piece missing. And it's rolling along, and it sees a wedge, and it tries it on, and they fit, and they begin to roll together. Amazing. And then all of a sudden, the wedge grew and stopped all their forward momentum, and with a great deal of pain. They separated, and the circle with the wedge rolled away, and the piece was left behind. Now just imagine you're that piece, looking around, seeing all these other circles with wedges roll by. And this big circle starts to roll by, and the piece goes, "Stop. Who are you?" And the circle says, "Well, I'm the Big O." He goes, "But there's no place for me to fit in you." And he goes, "Yeah, I know. I used to look just like you. But I found that if I rolled one end over another, you know, pretty soon the rough edges began to break off, and then I began to look like a lumpy O, and then I evened out. You know, maybe someday you'll take that journey. And if you do, it'd be so cool. I'd love to roll with you. In the meantime, I'll see you around." And it rolled away. And at that point, the wedge went, "No." And it jumped up. He said, "I want that." And it started forcing itself end over end and churn up pain and pieces. And it began to roll, and it began to reshape, and it began to look like a lumpy O. And then it evened out, and it became a full circle. And it was able to roll up alongside of the Big O. Roll together. And you know what? What's the moral of that story? It's that we attract people in our lives that are as bent as we are, just in an opposite direction. But folks, if hurt people, then healed people heal people. You see, I challenge you, are you willing to work on those rough edges of your life that keep interfering with your relationships and your business and your success? Because if you do, it might be a little bit challenging initially, but what'll happen is you'll begin to roll, and it'll be lumpy, and then you'll even out, and you begin to be whole in here. And what happens is you begin to attract into your life people that are whole and healed and less drama. You see, information with implementation creates transformation. Thank you so much. Hope you got something out of the story at 3 minutes.
3 minutes right there. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the first time.
It just hit.
Just hit.
Last
that's
word.
It. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, that is the first time and only time that Pat Dewar will talk for only 3 minutes in a row. As far as that. That's it.
Well, you know that's right.
You can do it. You can. Like, look, just telling a story. You know, here's what happened with my kids the other day. And here's how I felt about it. And here's what it was that we wanted to fix from it. Or here's what it is that we brought from it. Here's how I felt about this thing that happened in the world. And here's how I feel about it. And here's how we need your voices. We need your voices right now. More than anything. More than any time in our history do we need your voices. It's your time.
So where do they go again, Oginga?
You're going to go to limitlessgoalsnow.com/challenge. Okay, limitlessgoalsnow.com/challenge. Remember, hit me up. If it only ends up being one person who hits me up, guess what? I'll spend an hour with you on Saturday, and we will talk through how we do that and how we create it. I want you to create. I want you to put out great things in this world. and I want you to live the best life it is possible and live a limitless life. That's what the Limitless Challenge is all about.
And what's the formula again, Oginga? Dream.
Dream, believe, work, achieve, repeat. That's the success recipe. That's how we cook it up. That's how we
Folks,
cook it up.
this is Pat Dewar. Oginga Carr is a magnificent speaker, coach, mentor in my life. I encourage you, message him. Go to the challenge. Take it. It's 3 minutes. Perfection isn't the objective. It's get your message out. Let's change some lives together. This is Pat Dewar, Strength Based Marketing. It's been a pleasure working with you guys again, Oginga, and we'll